Go live. Alrighty, are we live? I said, are we live? Are we live into his app? I need to know. Are we live? Are we live into his app today? I don't know what's going on here, but we not gonna sweat it. But something's going on. But welcome to the Saturday sermon. I need to know if we live or not. I don't see myself. Are we live? Seriously, are we live? All right, looks like we having some technical difficulties here, but give me a second, y'all. We'll work it out. Because we always do. Let's open up another window and make sure we live. Because, you know, when you're streaming in 2K and you're going above what everybody else is doing, you're bound to have problems. Especially from the evil one who don't want you to excel over his sorry demons. So let's see. Are we live? Give me a second, y'all. We'll work it out. Because we always... All right, we are live. Okay. We had a problem where we had a problem. I was trying to get the camera to work to do live streams, and the only way I can get it to work was to have it work with the OBS, which means I would have to start it in the house. So we out in the field, I can't do nothing. And it still had what you're looking at right now on part of the, you know, if you scroll around, it had me sitting here, and then it had what it was showing, and it was all blowed up. Well, I kept the settings when I started the live at 8 o'clock. And it was set up for 360. And that's the reason why we had to start over. Now we seeing something that we ain't seen before. We actually are dropping frames. We haven't dropped a frame in our last 5 shows. So this once again shows you what's working against us. We know the evil one is working against us. We ain't gonna worry about it. Let's get this show started, y'all. Our topic today is on betrayal. Well, what made you decide to do a show about betrayal? Well, let me show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. Give me a second here. I want y'all to listen to this.
Right? I mean, everybody is proud of vengeance. Even the one who like, people never thought the darkness would be discovered. We found him, but Brother Derrick of all people. Okay? So, okay, it's only a matter of time. Karma, you know, we found him, but Brother Derrick of all people. Okay? So we discovered. We found him, but Brother Derrick of all people. Okay? The darkness will be discovered. We found him, but Brother Derrick of all people. Okay? So, okay.
Now, we haven't been in the roast sector for a year. So why is somebody bringing my name up and lying on me? Why did somebody say that I doxed Triple Darkness? I don't know anything about Triple Darkness other than what he told. Why would a man who on my show 3 years ago called us both Jesus guys Why would he lie on me and try to start a war between me and Triple Darkness if we supposed to be Jesus guys? This is the same person who, when we used to be the so-called four horsemen or whatever, and the female in the group was trying to help me get an air conditioner. And he agreed to let us use his platform. And after I got off, he told everybody, F me, y'all better donate to me, forget about that. But he supposed to be a Jesus guy. When that same woman that was in the group kept attacking him, his wife, and his pretty little girl, I was the one asking him why he wasn't defending himself. His answer was to take my roast of the great Candy Cartel Infinity and put it on that same woman I was talking about. Betrayal. Stole my roast and put it on somebody else. The same person who kept letting my rents get took in his check when he knew I couldn't afford to buy it back. But yet DQ night is supposed to be open season. Betrayal. Now this person, I'm a year out of the beef sector, is trying to draw me back in. Because remember, I didn't know what a beef sector was till he played my video in January of 2018. Keep in mind, that video has 1,700 views. What first timer roast video, first time, got them 1,700 views? What person got into True Freeman drawers so bad that True Freeman had me on his show Monday morning, 8 o'clock? Who's this brother buffoon? So, is he trying to bring me back into the roast sector? I have no desire to be in the roast sector. But I thought, since we both supposed to be Jesus people, that I would point this out and do a sermon on it. I thought I would point this out because I don't have no beef. Because Lord knows the things I just told you, if I was going to go after them, I could have been one after them. But I let it go. Why? Because he put me on. But how long does that last? How long am I supposed to be grateful that he put me on? And y'all know who that is. We ain't got to say no names, but you know who that was. And through all the shady things he's done, I've said nothing. Even when I was affiliated with him, never said nothing. Even when he tried to tell me that I couldn't do 2K. We going 2K right now, but I can't do it. But I tell you what I can do, what I've been doing. I've done everything I said I was going to do. Where's his weed business? Has he started his DJ business? He ain't done nothing. What I tell you I was going to do? I told you I was going to move, and I did it. I told you I was going to lose weight, and I did it. I told you I was going to bring down my sugar and control my diabetes. And I did it live in front of you, not hiding. I did it live in front of you. Who's more of a Jesus person? I asked you. I asked you. Who's more of a Jesus person? Somebody who does what they say they're going to do. Or somebody that just run their mouth and don't do nothing. Because I can tell you right now, for the first time since 2017, I got over $400 stashed. I could go piss it right now. But I'm too responsible for that. But I could do it for the first time. Why? Because I said I was going to be able to do it. And guess what? I can do it. I said we was going to live stream in 360 and got done it. We got the next camera coming. It'll be here on the 17th. Everything I say I'm going to do, I do. Yet I was the joke of the roast sector. I roasted everybody that came and got in front of me and tore them to pieces. Yet I'm considered the broke joke. Well, I ain't broke no more. I ain't fat no more. I ain't sick no more. And I've done it in front of your eyes. But you still listen to these half-deads that can't do nothing except sit around and talk about a bunch of half-dead people. And yet you watch them. Well, keep watching. Because I said it before and I say it again. When everybody said they was going to leave, I said I'd rather have Chung Lee in the chat and be doing well than be swandering with y'all half-deads. And guess what? I'm sitting here, 244 pounds. Not 320, not 280. They cut my insulin in half and cut my water pill in half. And I'm still around 110, 112 on my sugar levels. Even though they cut everything in half to sabotage me. I did what they told me to do. Now they want to cut the meds. Sabotage. Isn't that betrayal from the doctors? Yeah, you doing good. We're going to mess you up. We don't like you doing good, so we're going to mess you up. Our topic today is about betrayal. What was the ultimate betrayal? Judas Iscariot, the man who controlled the money with the 12 disciples. The man who controlled the money with the 12 disciples. The man who controlled the money. The man who was dipping into that money for himself. That wasn't enough. The man who got irritated, even though he's right there with Jesus, didn't pick up on nothing he said. Became angry with Jesus. Well, why was Judas Iscariot angry with Jesus? Because the clergy at the time, the people that called themselves Jesus people, well, they didn't know Jesus then, called themselves God's people, and were given the task to teach the people, was telling the people that when Jesus came, he was coming to avenge them. For 500 years, while the people was getting beat up by the Babylonians, they were getting beat up by the Jebusites, the Hittites, the Philistines, then finally the Romans, the only hope they had was the lies that came from the clergy. How many of you getting lied to right now? How many of you watching this program are going to go to church tomorrow and get lied to? Because the same lies that worked back then, they work even better now. It's okay. Keep doing what you're doing. Something's coming. Okay, keep doing what you're doing. Keep hope. You're going to make it. They lying to you the same way they were lying back then. Ain't nothing changed. But there are a few who come tell the truth. There are a few. And they never get no traction. They never get nowhere. You want to know why? Because you don't want them to. You want to be lied to. You love it. Yes, you do. You love it. You love being lied to. So you can keep doing what you want to do. Isn't that what you want? You don't want nobody to tell you. I just watched the whole season of Supergirl. You know how I watched it so fast? Because I had to fast forward all the daggone gay and lesbian scenes. They keep trying to shove that down your throat. In between the good action and storylines, they got to shove that in between. Same thing with Project Runway. How I get through all 19 seasons so fast? The fast forward button. Nobody want to watch a bunch of Fruit Loops? Keep that on the down low. Keep that out of sight, and then you deal with God at the end. We don't need to see that. But they tell you, now go ahead and be open and free. But see, when it's one of their kids, then they get mad. As long as it's somebody else's kid, it's okay. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. That's the kind of full of crap, selfish, ignorant people who we are. That's why we need Jesus, to get in our hearts and change it, to get in our minds and change it. That's why we need Jesus. We continue to betray each other because as long as you're not in my way, I ain't got no problem with you. Soon as you get in my way, even if I'm related to you, even if I love you, I'm going to take you down because I'm going to do what I want to do. If I want to mess with the little children, anybody that get in my way until I get caught and put in jail for life, I'm going to take them out. If I want to be fruity, I'm going to be fruity until somebody take me out, whether it be AIDS or whether it be a hater. I'm going to throw it in your face till I get took out. This is what we do. I don't want no Asians around here. We're going to terrorize the Asian churches. We're going to terrorize the Muslims. We're going to terrorize everybody. When they get in your way, you take them out. If you got Jesus in your heart, you won't do that. But if you have those thoughts, don't come to me and say, hey, I'm a follower of Jesus. Because I'm going to call you out and tell you you're a daggone lie. You're lying to yourself and you're dreaming. And I'm going to call you out. I am going to call you out. Because you can make fun of me all you want. I've done everything I said I was going to do. You can go back and start watching my videos from 2017 and see where I am today. I have progressed. Unlike the man that we saw in the video who was in the tent for 15 years and was proud of it. Yeah, I've been here 15 years, living in the tent. Ain't made no upgrades, ain't upgraded nothing. Ain't made no progress, but proud of it. Because if you ask him, he'll say, at least I ain't under the bridge. I might be in a tent, but it's my own tent. I ain't under the bridge. But them people want to tell you something about Jesus Christ. They want to tell you something about God. That's what a real loser is. Somebody who don't try. Somebody who don't make no attempt to improve their situation. Somebody that's satisfied to be right where they are. Satisfied. Not ashamed. Not I can do better. I had a conversation with somebody today. We came across an article that said 8 states where you can use food stamps to go dine in a public restaurant. I made the comment, that's a slap in the face of people that work hard. They deserve to be in a restaurant because they work hard. How does somebody who supposedly can barely afford to put food in their mouth, how they find dining in a restaurant? That's a slap in the face to the people that go out there and work 40 hours a week. That's a slap in their face. Oh, no, don't worry about it. No, it's a slap in their face. I seen the same looks my whole life when I go into the supermarket and I see the women, they got 3 or 4 kids running around the store. They load that cart up and they got steak and lobster and all kinds of good stuff in there. And I see people standing there with a couple things in their hand and a $5 bill and looking at them like, damn, they can get all that and don't work. What? I'm paying for it. And I'm sitting here with my little chicken gizzards trying to put food on the table. I can understand. It's none of their business. They can buy what they want to buy. But I understand it. And see, until they saw that, they wouldn't pay it no mind. But then when they see it, now they got an issue. And this is the problem with people. When we see something, when we don't see it and we don't know, we ain't got no problem with it. Oh, give them this, give them that, I don't care. As long as I can keep getting what I'm getting. But when I see them getting more than me, or it looks like they're getting more than me, hold the presses. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Let me call the politicians. Let me call my councilman. Let me call the mayor. This is ridiculous. How are you going to tell me they shouldn't be able to buy that kind of stuff? They should be buying low stuff. They should be getting chicken livers. How can they afford to get lobster? I can't afford to get lobster. I work. But see, when you didn't know, you didn't care. And this is what we do. Because see, the people didn't know about Jesus. Because they wasn't told. So when he came and didn't do what they wanted him to do, they had no problem killing him. And that's the reason why Judas had no problem turning over our Savior, God in the flesh, for 30 pieces of silver. Judas was a fighter. He was a rebel. And to be following around a man to talk about love your enemy? Judas looking at him like, what the hell wrong with you? You got all that power. Do something. Get us out of there. Do something to the Romans. Give us Jerusalem back. Give us Judah back. Why are you talking about we should forgive him and love him and hug him and we want to kill him? Now, if he had been told correctly by the clergy what Jesus' real intentions was, he wouldn't have turned him in. But God and Jesus was banking on the selfishness. Chong Lee says, not fine dining, Burger King or McDonald's. But see, the average person wouldn't know that. And they would see that and get angry. And would start their own campaign, whether it be on Twitter, online, marching in the street. What the hell? I worked all week so I could bring my family to this nice restaurant. And you telling me they ain't here with food stamps? Somebody gonna have an issue with that. Most won't. But a lot will. But it's none of their business. We was in the market a couple weeks ago. I put 2 bags of shrimp up on the counter and whipped out the food stipend card. And the dude behind me was looking. And I made sure that I told them shrimp and the rice. And for a little flavor, you get barbecue sauce or you get some Italian dressing. Or you get the vegetables, the bird's eye vegetables. I dropped almost 75 pounds. Then they go, oh. See, I'm losing weight, not gaining it. So Well, he ain't gaining no weight, so it ain't like he's not really enjoying it. So I'm okay with it now. But at least he got an explanation, because he won't go to the next man and go, they buying shrimp on food stamps. I can't even afford shrimp. I work every day. Everything that was on that deck was sugarless. The only thing he could point to and say something about was the shrimp. That's why I made sure I explained to him what it was, why I was getting it. Because, yeah, it is expensive. But the shrimp, the cheese, the fake salad dressing, or the fake barbecue sauce, it make it work. Am I tired of eating it? Yes. We got to find something else. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm getting sick of it. We got to find something else. I got news for you. We went to the market last time. I bought 2 packs of chicken. For those of you who say, well, how was you able to make it? How was you broke? After you paid your bills, didn't you have $150? Well, we went to the market 3 days ago. And I blew $80. Take $80 from 150. And we got to go again tomorrow. That's another $30. I'm going to try to keep it to 20. I'm going to take a $20 bill from what I've saved, and I'm going to try to go into the market and spend 20 and not go over. That's the goal. Because I'm bringing that 20 and that's it. We're going to hit the pharmacy and then we're going to hit the market. But that will be 110. So that means that I blow 110 at the market between the 3rd and the 10th. Because the stipend don't come to the 10th. That's Tuesday. So I got a choice. I got some canned goods and I got some oodles and noodles stashed for emergencies. I could dip into that over the next 3 days. But I see the general doctor on Tuesday. That stuff is going to drive my sugar up. It's going to drive my cholesterol up. So I'd rather make the sacrifice and try to go spend $20. Dip into the money I saved so I wasn't going to touch. Rather than having to see the doctor say, well, your cholesterol is up, you're doing something wrong, your sugar's up, And they mess with my meds all over again. I got 6 different doctors. They all changing my stuff. Changing it constantly. Can't get no consistency. So, that's why you save it when you need it. And I ain't got to ask nobody for nothing. That's the best part. I ain't got to ask nobody for nothing. To all you who don't talk in the chat no more, that should make you happy, but it don't. Why is that? Why is that? Do you think I'm getting cocky? You think I'm getting too full of myself? I did what I said I was going to do. I can guarantee you, 50% of the people that have been living here for years don't have 400 stashed. In 1 month, I got 400 stashed. 1 month. First month. People who've been here for years, I guarantee you, at the end of the month, they're going to be broke. I won't. Because I do what I say. And I got a few people that support me behind the scenes. They encourage me to stay on track. Not people that want to see me fall. Because that's all the roast sector is. That's why I left it. It ain't nothing but negative people who ain't trying to do nothing, who get pleasure out of seeing people fall, who get pleasure out of doing harm to people. I'm not in the roast sector anymore. Why bring me up? He ain't the only one. Other people bringing me up too for what? What are you trying to bring me back into the roast sector for? I'm doing fine without it. I don't come on YouTube every day now because I don't need it. I told y'all, May of 2022, I don't need it. I come because I want to. I come because the Spirit asks me to come. I don't do it out of need. Before it was a combination. I was told to come and I needed to come. Any donation that somebody made life easier. Well, now I don't need it. But that don't mean I should come here and be bragging about it. I'm not. But I'm telling you that some people say they're going to do something and don't do nothing. And for some reason, you back them. But people who do what they say, you turn on them. Why? Them people didn't have no right to what Jesus did. He didn't do nothing to them. He said he was the Son of God. So what? We all sons of God. Every angel, every human being. We just baby gods. We don't have the powers that can't fly around and all that. But we still got God's breath going through our system. We are God. Just baby ones. Itty bitties. Little minis. So why was somebody saying they're the Son of God and they can do things you can't do? Why that make you want to kill them? Jealousy? Was they angry because he wasn't going to help them fight? Because I told you. And you can look for yourself. They couldn't fight. That's why they got beat up by everybody. That's why they got enslaved by everybody. They couldn't fight. Without Jesus there in the cloud, they couldn't do nothing. As soon as he left, they couldn't do nothing. It took a little boy to slay Goliath. A little boy. But these big soldiers were scared. The king, who they said they'd rather have a human king than Jesus be there in the cloud. That king was scared of Goliath. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to roll with people. I'm rolling with Jesus and God. That's who I'm rolling with. You know why? They won't betray you, but your friends will. Jesus and God won't betray you, but your family will. Jesus and God won't betray you, but your husband or wife will. Jesus and God won't betray you, but your children will. So who you gonna roll with? You gonna roll with Jesus and God, or you gonna roll with your friends, your human beings, who you gonna roll with? That's why it's written. During the rapture, a mother will be taken, a father will be left. A son will be taken, a daughter will be left. You can roll with the things on this world, or you can roll with the people who determine what's going to happen with the world. Whose side are you on? Because some of you flip-flop. One minute you want to be, hey, Jesus, and the next minute you right there with the devil. So whose side are you on? Where you going to end up at? Because I've already proven to you, we can't do it alone. Us alone, we can't do it. If we can do it, it'd be done already. If we can do it, Jesus wouldn't have had to let us kill him. But that marinate. He let us kill him. He came down here, allowed himself to be born, allowed himself to be raised, allowed himself to be put to death, showed us how to act while he was alive, then died and showed us what he can do for us, and came back. He was seen over 400 times. What more can he do for you? Why don't you start a relationship and find out? But you would rather listen to your friends. I know. You rather listen to your family. You rather listen to your pastors or reverends or priests. You would rather do that. For those of you that were Catholic, and I went to Catholic school, I even knew as a young man that confession was crap. I wasn't going there. I even knew that from being on the usher board at First Mount Olive. I knew only Jesus could forgive sins. How you gonna tell me I gotta go in there in a dark room and tell a priest and he can forgive my sins? I knew that as a young man. Why y'all didn't know? I was in the 3rd grade. I knew that. Why y'all didn't know? Some of you still don't know. Because I see a lot of people still go to confessional. I ask the questions that don't have an easy answer. That's why they couldn't handle me in the roast sector. That's why nobody comes here and challenges me on religion. I got one rule. Don't talk about what you don't know. Because when you do, you make a fool of yourself. Because somebody always gonna know. Especially when they think they can tell you that. Oh, they'll find out the information. I should read the Bible more than I do. But don't nobody know the Bible better than the devil and his demons. There's an old saying. Do you want somebody who can tell you every word in the dictionary? Or do you want somebody who, when you ask them, can give you the definition to every word in the dictionary? Who would you rather have on your team? Somebody who can quote something, or somebody who can look at it and give you the definition on the spot? What would you rather have? I'm that second person. I can look at a scripture and decipher it like that. I don't need to. And if it's a tough one, look at the scripture beforehand, look at the one under it, put them together. It's not hard for me. I ain't got to read the whole thing. I should. And if I don't know, I ask the Spirit. Tell me. Tell me what it says. See, once again, we think that we can do everything. I ask the Spirit. It's been a couple times we've looked at scriptures. We're going to look at them tonight. And if I get stumped, I'm going to ask the Spirit. Tell me what this means. And I guarantee you, I'm going to give you a layman's terms, grassroots, down to the peer level where you can understand explanation. Those are the kind of people that you should be listening to. Not those that can memorize something and read it. How many of y'all in school did algebra? We memorized what to do to get through that test that week. Then 2 weeks later, we ain't forgot what we learned. Most of us. Now, 30 years later, you put the algebra in front of me, it look like gibberish. You got a lot of people that can read you scripture. You got a lot of people that take a whole week to do a sermon. I can give you a sermon in 5 minutes. I don't even need 5 minutes. There's a difference between who was actually thought they had a calling and who actually were chosen. There's a difference. Because see, you might think you had a calling, or you might think you want the respect or you want the lifestyle. So you might convince yourself you were called. But when it comes down to getting down to the nitty gritty and looking people in their face and telling them what they need to hear, that's when you find out if you're chosen. Because if you turn and tail and run, or you change your theology and your daggone point of view because you want to fit in, well, the people don't like what I'm saying, you know, they ain't donating, they ain't putting no money in the cash envelopes, they ain't coming, so we're going to have to change what we doing. And that's the problem. The clergy is supposed to teach the people. The people are not supposed to teach the clergy. Can I say that again? The clergy is supposed to teach the word of God to the people. The people are not supposed to tell the clergy what to preach. And that's the problem that we have. And we have been having it a long time. We let the masses run everything. You can't let the masses. If you ask 100 people, should we pay taxes? 90% of them would say, heck no. 10% will have the common sense to say, if we don't pay taxes, how are we going to pay for the roads and pay for schools and things like that? But if you ask 100 people, if you do the Family Feud question, should we pay taxes? What percentage of people will say no? If you said 90%, you get the number one answer. You can't let the masses. That's why we have laws. See, if you ask the masses, if somebody is starving and they need something to eat, would it hurt if they went and stole something out of the store just to get something to eat? They were starving. 80% of the people would say, no, don't lock them up. 20% would say, hey, they stole from somebody that worked hard to be able to sell it. That's why it's not legal to steal. But if you ask the masses on a good day, 80% of them will say, well, as long as they were doing it for good, they were hungry. Until they stole from them. When they steal from you, wait a minute, hey, then you care. And that's the problem with people. See, long as it don't affect you, you ain't got no problem with it. There are people who don't care about the war in Ukraine. But now the gas prices have gone up, everything going up, now they care. Before they, put on them, outside the world, put on them. I don't care about no damn. Tell me in line. This is human nature. This is human nature. Somebody in the chat was doing stories on people, women and children who been kidnapped and sold on the black market. They've been kidnapped and being sold overseas. Most people don't care until it's their daughter. Most people don't care till it's somebody they know. That's human nature. Long as it don't affect us, we don't care. We could care too. People starving in Africa? Who cares? Some of them third world countries where the batteries are being saved, the batteries is no longer good, they being saved in those countries and being buried underground. Fish coming up with 3 eyes, children born, don't nobody care. That's their problem. They over there. Well, I'm over here, I'm good. But then they found out that they were dumping trash in New York. They got a whole island of trash in New York. And it's starting to affect the water over there. Some people care now, but the majority still don't care. They're not going to care until their children come out. They're not going to care until their fish start having 3 eyes. That's when they're going to care. That's our human nature. And when people do start caring, the people who don't care are going to turn on them and try and do everything to keep it under the table until they can't. Till they get to the point you can't even eat a fish anymore because it's infected with the radiation in the trash. You can't eat it. It'll kill you. Then they'll care. Then they'll start cleaning it up. But until then, it's all right. It's okay. The fact that people in California come outside every day and see a cloud over their head, most people don't pay it a bit of mind. The people that's trying to do something about it, they get pissed on. Fully. I'm driving my car, I don't care how much exhaust they're doing. Because they don't care. Until it really affects them. Then when they can't breathe, when they can't come outside without an oxygen tank, then they gonna care. Hey, well, why you didn't do something? We should have been doing something. I didn't know. You knew, you saw it every day. You see that smog every day and make jokes about it. Because as long as you got to do what you wanted to do, you didn't care. As long as you got to do what you wanted to do. Because see, the politicians will tell you, yeah, it's them daggone jets. Y'all need to stop flying. Start taking the train. But every time you turn around, them politicians, they got a private jet. Politicians will tell you, we need gun reform. Then you find out they got 10 guns in their house. But they don't want you to have none. Are y'all starting to understand how we betray each other every day? Because, see, the politicians don't want you to have something, but they're going to have it. The criminals are going to steal and cheat and lie and make sure they get it. But the people who really need to defend themselves, you can't have it. And they try to convince you, well, if we don't have it, can't nobody get hurt. Then why are there so many homicides? When I was growing up, the phrase was, guns don't kill people. People kill people. But nobody took the time to figure out, how do we get people to stop killing people? John Lee says, when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish caught, only then will one realize one cannot eat money. You're absolutely right. Let me fix that chat. It's overlapping. Hold on. Let me fix this real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. The chat overlapping. There we go. Now we can read it. She said, I don't even want to eat one out of it. She said, that's it. By the time most people realize what's going on, it's usually too late. By the time most people realize what's going on, it's too late. In the Gospels, don't remember which one it was, but when Jesus took his last breath and died on a cross, there was an earthquake, there was a thunderstorm, and the temple was torn in the curtain. The soldiers that put him up there, they realized then this was a great man. All the stuff they heard about he did beforehand, the fact that he willingly let them kill him, nothing. But these things happened after he died. Now they realize, oh man, what have we done? This was a great man. What have we done? Too late now. A little bit too late. Because they had the power to say, no, this man ain't do nothing. Pilate had the power. Pilate was also stupid. The fact that he put the crown of thorns on his head and sent him out there and put them clothes on him and told him that he was the king of the Jews, that made the people want to kill him even more. He thought that he was appealing to the people's sense of sympathy. He made them angry. What was going through his mind? But see, Jesus and God was banking on it. They was banking on it. Because for as powerful as Pilate was supposed to be, the Jews who he was enslaving got him to do what he didn't want to do. The masses got him to do what he didn't want to do. How many of the masses are making your politicians do what they don't want to do? how many wardens had to take, education out of the jails? How many wardens had to take conjugal visits away from the jail? Because the masses decided we didn't want to pay for them. And when they come out and start raping the women because they couldn't get no conjugal visits, when they come out and start breaking in your house because you took the education away and they can't get a job, you go, oh, wow. Let's make it even harder. Let's give them terrible food now. That's your answer. Because, see, they in jail. We don't want them to repent. We want them to suffer. Why should they be able to get out and get a job? So they don't break in your house. So they don't rob you at the ATM. That's why. Fully. They can work at McDonald's and Burger King. They be all right. Live in a tent down there. Then they in the tent. You know, they blocking the sidewalk with the tent. The masses ain't gonna never be satisfied. That's why you can't let the masses run anything. Because they only think about what they're thinking about at the moment. They don't think about something over time. Because, a couple of them living on tents on the beach ain't no problem. Till summertime hit, and you want to go down to the beach, and they got the daggone coastline covered up with tents. Don't nobody care about them living on the street, Skid Row, whatever. What about the businesses on Skid Row? Ain't nobody gonna want to shop there. You got tents blocking the whole sidewalk. They can't even get in there. They think somebody crazy gonna jump out with them just to beat the crap out of them. Anybody gonna go do business at your store? But long as they ain't on your block, you don't care. But now they blocking your business. Now you care. Oh, you gotta do something now. I didn't have no problem with them living in tents, but now, I'm not making no money because won't nobody come in my store. Because, see, you didn't think about the consequences. And that's our problem. We don't think about the consequences. When we see somebody build something up, and everybody starts telling us, why don't you be like that person? That person doing something, why you ain't doing nothing? Instead of saying, well, let me go find out what that person did and do it again for myself. Instead, how can I bring that person down? So that he come back down to my level and I ain't got to do nothing. I be at the same level, he be at the same level, and can't nobody say, hey, why can't you be like him? Isn't that what we do? Soon as somebody try and do something, he trying to open up a store. I told him the store ain't gonna work. He trying to start a music business up. I don't know nobody gonna. Instead of you trying to do something, you take more pleasure in bringing somebody else down. You take more pleasure in it. You'll spend hours trying to betray somebody that's trying to exceed and excel. You'll spend hours trying to drag that person down rather than trying to pull yourself up, right? Right? Give me a second, y'all. I sent it to somebody in the Hangouts. I pulled it up real quick, and I haven't even looked at it. That person might have. That person might be able to come here and preach. Hey man, I gotta find it. Where is it? I know I bookmarked it. There it is. I don't even remember what the heck it said. It don't matter. To be honest with you, to me it don't matter. Let me get rid of this real quick. Let me get my mug off the screen. All right. Who is this? Bible reasons. Bible verses about betrayal. Hey, I could have got the picture over here. See, I should read these. I went online and I found that same exact picture. I kid you not. I went online and found that same exact picture. It was already here if I would have just read it. But we don't do that. That's cheating. Let's see. Will this thing agree with anything I said? Bible verses about betrayal. Being betrayed by a friend or a family member is one of the worst feelings ever. Sometimes the emotional pain is far worse than that of physical pain. The question is, how do we handle betrayal? The first thing our flesh wants to do is get revenge. If not physically, then in our minds. We must be still. We must take our minds off the situation and put our focus on Christ. Let's stop right here for a second. How do we handle betrayal? The first thing our flesh wants to do is get revenge. If not physically, then in our minds. I wanted to make sure that I bring that. Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day weekend, everybody. We must be still. We must take our minds off the situation and put our focus on Christ. If we keep thinking about the situation, then it will only build up anger. Well, we started the show. I showed y'all a betrayal. Y'all probably forgot that part. Because rather than get angry, rather than take revenge, I decided to make the sermon about it and teach a lesson for correction. If we keep thinking about the situation, then it will only build up anger. This thumbnail caught me on images on Google because of what it says. The saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. Marinate on that for a second before we continue. Marinate. The saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. I saw this on Google Images. And I saved it and sent it to the Hangouts. If I would have read the article, I could have got, it took me 3 minutes of searching to find that thumbnail. I could have saved 3 minutes. The same thumbnail is right here. That's crazy. It is. We must give all our problems to the Lord. He will calm the storm within us. We must follow the example of Christ, who was also betrayed. Look at how much God forgave us. Well, let's take a look. They left us a little link there. I can use this for another sermon. Hold on, we're gonna say that. Wait a minute, I might use this for Wednesday. Hold on. We'll say that. That's a different topic. But it's about forgiveness. Let's forgive others. We must rest upon the Spirit. We must ask the Spirit to help us love our enemies and to remove any bitterness and anger lurking in our hearts. See, a lot of the times people say that they forgive. But they really don't. There's a phrase, forgive but don't forget. It's taken out of context. You supposed to not forget so you don't get tricked again. Same way. But you ain't supposed to hold on to it. A lot of people hold on to it. A lot of people say they forgive you, but they don't. They might tolerate you being around, but they don't forgive you. They might smile at you at family gatherings to appease the family, but they ain't forgave you. And they're looking for you to mess up. So they can say, I told you so. You're carrying that in your mind. You're carrying that in your heart. You're carrying that in your spirit. You can't walk with Jesus if you're carrying that anger. I can honestly say, I forgive everybody who has wronged me. I don't hold nothing. Instead of trying to figure out my measure of revenge, I did what the Spirit told me to do. And y'all hear, those of you that listen to your Spirit, and you just don't pay no mind because it don't fit what you want. Do better. Do well. Excel. That's how you get revenge. If you want to get revenge on somebody, do well. Because they're waiting for you to mess up. They're waiting for you to fall. So they can be right there. I told you, he wasn't worth nothing. She wasn't worth a dime. I told you he was going to do this. How many times y'all know people who done that? How many times have you done it? You couldn't wait for somebody to mess up. You just couldn't wait. You waited years. Yeah, I knew you was going to fall. I knew it. I knew it. I don't know why our father gave you the business. I knew you was going to run it into the ground. Now look at you, you're bankrupt. I told everybody, you should have gave it to me. I'm exonerated. Hey! When in that time, you could have used your energy to help the business from going bankrupt. That would have pleased your father. That would have pleased your mother. That would have saved the employees who now desperately looking for a job. But it wasn't about nobody else. It was only about you. You was waiting. You were making sure that nothing went right. You was making sure that it was guaranteed to fail. So that you can have your moment to laugh in everybody's face. Let that marinate for a second. How many times we had people tell people not to watch this show because I'm a scammer. We've had people say, don't watch this show because of what he preached. We still here. We are still here. Through it all, we still here. But somebody waiting. Somebody's waiting. Somebody who feelings I hurt. Somebody who I told the truth and they didn't want to hear it. They waiting. I don't know how many people watching right now, but I guarantee you, ain't nobody saying nothing but one person. Because I know they waiting for me to fall. There are people just watching. They waiting for me to say something they can go run with. They waiting. You're waiting. You're going to be waiting a long time. Let me tell you. You're going to be waiting a long time. Because I ain't going to fall. Not as long as I hold on to Jesus Christ. You're going to be waiting a long time. That I can guarantee you. Because as long as I do right, I'm going to be all right. As long as you waiting for somebody to do wrong, your life at a standstill. Your life is at a standstill. You ain't going nowhere. You're going to be in the same spot you're in. Much as you want to make fun of me, and y'all have done it over the years, you can't ever say I stayed in the same spot. Stayed in the same condition. You can't say it. You want to say it. Oh, that broke fat. What are you going to say 6 months from now? What are you going to say 6 months from now when I hit my goal to hit 240? Last night I was 244. We had a setback today. I was at 246. But we getting there. We came from 320 pounds. We in the 240s. And they cut my meds. We'd already been there. The doctor cut my meds. We would have already been there. What made the doctor cut my meds? Well, we already know who made him do it. We know who made him do it. That's why I call it a betrayal. We know who did it. But we don't get worried about it. We know. It's another obstacle to keep me from reaching my goal. I'm still going to hit it. I'm still going to hit it. I got to start getting me in a new wardrobe. I had to put a notch in the belt. I showed this to somebody yesterday. Let me show it to you. Numbers don't lie. Hey man, let me pull up the OBS here. I want to make sure y'all can see. This is my belt. I want y'all to take a look. I want y'all to take a look. I had to make this new hole. That's almost 1.5 inches. That's almost 1.5 inches. Go back to the regular holes. We've taken, this is how much we've taken off my waist. I can put the belt on now for those of y'all that say I'm lying. Look at that. I'm trying to find a hole. Let me back up some so y'all can see. Look at that. Look at it. Make sure I'm in the camera. Look at it. Look from the last hole. Y'all see? Look where my finger is. Right there. Can you extend it out? Ain't it? See if I can bring it up to you. Get on my tippy toes. Bring the camera down some. Can y'all see that? See what my finger is? That's the last hole right there. That's how much we lost off my weight. You see it right there. You see it for yourself. That's a lot. And considering that I'm all stomach, that's a lot. Let me move this speaker over some so I can bring the camera over. Maybe that'll help. Bring myself more in the view. All right, that's better. Still not perfect. We need to come over a little bit more. How's that? Chun-Li says, if you don't let it go, what did they say about you? Then you have to answer to God for the hate you hold in your heart. She said, I need to stop typing in the dark. She said, you are doing great, BD. She said, hey to Davey. Davey must be in the shot. Oh, she laying in the bed behind me. Oh, chubby, what that? For all the people that say, oh, he's still going to the store when he ain't on camera, he picking out. The results are not going to lie. People can lie. But the results won't lie. That glucose reader ain't going to lie for me. That scale isn't going to lie for me. That belt isn't going to lie for me. But you got people that's going to say, well, I don't care still. You know, he's going to fall back and he's going to be fat like he was before. And he... But see, that drives me. Instead of insulting you. Instead of calling your names. Instead of wishing that you got cursed or something. I'm going to do the darn thing in front of you. And I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. That's how I get my revenge. And going to come show you every day. That I did it. And didn't have to lie. And didn't have to cheat. And didn't have to steal. Didn't have to scam nobody. Didn't have to make excuses. When I was face down in that market, it woke something up. That was my rock bottom. A lot of people hit rock bottom. Some people hit rock bottom 10 times and still don't respond and hit it for the 11th time. You know, Reg been down there on Skid Row. Some people say, well, how could you allow yourself to be on Skid Row? It's real easy to wind up on Skid Row. That is the problem. The problem is, will you stay there? That's the issue. Will you stay there? Do you have a drive to get up after you've been knocked down? Do you have the gumption to say, hey, what I'm doing ain't working? That's the problem I had. I wanted to eat what I wanted to eat. I wanted the bike to do all the work. When I started putting the work in, when I started watching what I eat, because I can tell you something. We got down to 244. I've never been hungry in my life. My body wants to put the weight back. Desperately. I'm finding myself hungry when I'm not hungry. And I'm fighting it. We've been in the house because it's been raining. If you look at the weather report, you will see it's 90% chance of rain on the hour every hour. That's why we haven't been out. But we're going out tomorrow. It's supposed to be cloudy. But it's only a 15% chance of rain. So we'll take our chances. 15% versus 96%, that's a big difference. So we'll take a chance. Bessie been charged up for 2 days. Many been charged up for 3 days. The new mounts for many didn't come yet. The new mounts for Bessie are there. The speakers already there. The cameras already there. Lights charged up. Power banks charged up. The power bank for the phone for the mobile live is on the back of the helmet charged up. We ready to go. We being held back by the rain. But tomorrow, and I'm thinking about hitting that trail. We never finished that trail. I'm thinking about hitting the pharmacy. I'm thinking about bringing the spare battery because we only got $20. We ain't going to fill the panty bags up. We had $80 in the panty bags. We had $80 worth of food in the panty bags the other day. So I'm sure $20 ain't going to do nothing. But we going. We going to hit that trail tomorrow. Hopefully it ain't muddy. If it ain't too muddy, because we stopped halfway. We was on minute. We taking Bessie tomorrow. I might bring the spare battery, and we might go ahead and finish that trail. See why some people ain't going to be doing nothing. I'm going to be out. Going someplace I ain't never gone to before. On a new adventure. Because I want to see. We went on 14-inch, 1.8-inch wide tires. Tomorrow we going on 20-inch, 4-inch wide tires. There's no front suspension on Mini. Bessie has front suspension. Can Bessie handle that terrain? We had to go at a slower pace, but Mini was handling it. We're going to see what Bessie going to do. We're going to see. Motor that peaks at 520, motor that peaks at 800. We're going to see the difference. We're going to keep challenging ourselves. I'm not no expert bike rider. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think we need to bring the extra battery. But I'm going to bring it because we're not going to fill the panty bags up with $20. So we should be able to bring the spare battery and extend the ride. Power banks are charged up. All the lights are charged up in case it get dark on us. We ready to go. We are ready to go. We're waiting on the weather. We could have went today, but I'm glad we didn't because I need some, y'all know that we almost ran out of insulin. And then we found out that the new health insurance company ain't paid for nothing since January. Care First been paying. And guess what? I've been paying. I've been paying $50 or more every month for my prescriptions. I wasn't supposed to be paying nothing. So I told y'all with that $150 that was left over, we were spending $100 and something on food. We were spending 50 something on the prescriptions. Where was the money? Where was the money? That's where YouTube came in. If it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't make it through the month. So when you hear me say, now I don't really need it, that's what I'm talking about. But I didn't even need it then. Give me my $50 a month back. They owe me $55 every month since January. So January, February, March, April. Give me my $240. I won't need nothing. I bet you they won't give it back. Get your money on that, but it's okay. Now that the insurance company is paying, prescriptions don't cost nothing. They don't cost nothing now. I could get mad and go get a lawyer. What, for $200? $240? I didn't keep it. Keep it. Because we ain't got to pay no more. Keep it. I'm going to wait until the fall. I could do it now, but I'm transitioning right now, and I don't want to put too much on my plate. I haven't forgot about the dentist. I ain't forgot. And now that I can get a ride over there, oh man, I didn't call and make the ride. Damn, we got doctors. I don't know. They ain't gonna have enough time to get it set up. I'll just ride the bike there on Tuesday. But we need to go to the dentist, and now that I can get a ride there for free, I can go on the other side of town where they are. And I have to put all that stress on Bessie. We can get a ride over there. And I can go see the surgeon and get a ride back. See, the stuff opens up. And as long as you keep yourself poised to take advantage of it, the opportunity will be there. But if instead of looking at your opportunity, you looking at somebody else's opportunity and trying to stop them from getting their opportunity, you miss your opportunity. Let's get back to the sermon here. All right, y'all can see it. Let me blow it up so I can see it and read it. Let's forgive others. We must rest upon the Spirit. We must ask the Spirit to help us love our enemies and to remove any bitterness and anger lurking in our hearts. Understand that all of the difficult things we face in life, God will use it for his great purpose. Just like Joseph said, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. When you have set your mind on Christ, there is an amazing peace and love feeling that he will provide. Go find a quiet place. Cry out to God. Allow God to help your pain and hurt. Pray for your betrayer, just like Christ prayed for his enemies. This is a good point here. They use Joseph as an example. Joseph was sold into slavery to Egypt by his brothers who was jealous of the blessing that Joseph had. Joseph did well in Egypt under his new master, but his wife wanted him. And she wanted Joseph to lay down with her, and Joseph said no. So the wife went and told her husband, his master, that he did it anyway. And so he was put in, that he tried to do something to her. He was put in the prison. While he was in prison, the king became angry at his baker and somebody else that worked for him. And they wound up in the same jail cell. And the baker was telling Joseph about a dream the king kept having. He couldn't decipher it. And none of his supposed clergy could decipher it either. And Joseph had a dream, and it described the dream. I believe the name was King Nebuchadnezzar, if I'm correct. I know it's Nebuchadnezzar, but he was the Babylonian king. No, excuse me, I got him mixed up with somebody else. What was that? No. Was both of them named Joseph? No, that's got to be a different name. I got him mixed up with somebody else in the Bible. Hold on a sec, y'all. This is the one that went to Egypt. told the Pharaoh about the famine and told the Pharaoh to store up as much grain as he could. And the famine hit, and Pharaoh became rich. People from all over the world came to get his grain. Told you that's what they ate. They ate bread. So grain was very important commodity. And people came from all over the world, and Joseph's father sent his brothers down there, the ones that sold him into slavery, and came back and told the father Jacob that Joseph was dead. So the brothers came down there, and Joseph recognized them. And the money they supposed to pay him, he had his men put the money back in, so that when they got back there, they were scared because they didn't pay for the grain, and they thought that the soldiers were gonna come kill them. So they came back, and they thought that Joseph was gonna do something to him, and he started crying, and he welcomed them back because he could have. He could have had them locked up, could have had them killed for stealing the money. And he told them, go get my father and everybody else. And that's how the Israelites came into Egypt. And while Joseph was alive, they did well. But when Joseph died, 2 or 3 generations later, that Pharaoh didn't know Joseph and was like, who are these people that's in this land that keep populating so much? They're going to outnumber us soon. And they're going to take over Egypt. And so that's why he enslaved them. But they had about 400 years of bliss, thanks to Joseph, before he died, and the Egyptian prince, who didn't know nothing about Joseph, turned on the people. And that's where the story of Moses come out of. But my point was about betrayal. The brothers betrayed Joseph, and Joseph could have took revenge on the brothers. And if he did, there wouldn't be no Israelites in Egypt. There wouldn't have been nobody for Moses to come back and rescue. Joseph could have had his brothers locked up or killed. They wouldn't have been able to populate. Instead of it being thousands of Israelites, it would have only been 100. Whoever Joseph's seed was. But it was him and his brothers. I think he had about 6 brothers. And they populated very quickly. To the point that the Pharaoh said, kill the firstborn. Not realizing, like I told y'all, killing the firstborn makes everybody else richer. Because the firstborn gets a half. And everybody else get a third. So you get more money. And it's less men. So that means the women are cheaper. So you get more money and the women are cheaper. So back then, a man could have as many wives as he could afford. So you might have 15 wives. And if you have a child by each wife, that's 15 children. That's just if you have 1. If you have 2 by each wife, that's 30 children. So say it's 3,000 men. What's 3,000 times 30? That's why they kept populating so much. So, he thought he was doing something, but he wasn't. He was making it worse. So you have to learn how to get the anger out of your heart. You have to learn how to really let stuff go. Just let it go. Because a lot of times, People say, you know, I forgive you. But then when they see you again, it all come back. You ain't forgave that person. If you're a spouse and your husband or wife cheat on you, and you tell them, I forgive you, and then every time you get mad at him, you bring it back up, you haven't forgiven him or her. Every time you get mad, you bring it up. Yeah, well, at least I didn't cheat on you. You didn't forgive him. If you have to bring that up, you haven't forgiven it in your heart. Whatever you mad about them at the moment is what you should be focusing on. But if you're talking about something else, you haven't forgiven. There's no real forgiveness because you wouldn't keep bringing it back up. Give me a paper towel. Hold on, y'all. I don't mean to hold the show, but I think I might have overfilled her bowl because she spilled some water. She spilled some water, and that's what they were coming to get. And even though the electronic device was right over, they were going to risk it just to get a drink. They were willing to risk it just to get a drink. They were willing to risk it all just to get a drink. Yes, they were. So if you want something to drink, I got something for you to drink. Let me make sure it don't go in her bowl though. We'll put it next to it. Let's put some bleach water down here. Y'all don't have no reason. You want something to drink? Come drink the bleach water. If you want something to drink, come drink the bleach water. Tell them, baby. They want something to drink? Tell them to come drink the bleach water. I don't mind feeding them that. All right, let's get back to the show. So if it's successful, then what's going on here? All right. All right, y'all. We back live. I don't know what happened. I don't know. But I think somebody just wanted to interrupt the sermon. Like I said, I've only seen, well, it's 5 of them now. Since I've been here, I've only seen 5 roaches. Only seen 5 of them. And I put that device over here. I might switch it. I might switch devices, but I'm gonna give it another chance. Davy, I filled her water bowl up, and she spilled some water on the floor. They so desperate for water that they came out in the open to get it. They literally came out in the open to get it. That's how desperate they was. Because we don't leave. I sprayed bleach water in the sink. I sprayed in the backsplash behind the sink. So like say they try and get it from the sponge, they can't get it. They can't. I spray it in the toilet. Every time I use the toilet, after I flush it, I pump at least 3 pumps of the bleach water, the bathroom sink. I leave an inch of it of bleach water. When I'm not taking a shower, the washing machine is in the tub. I spray the tub. I got the mop head. It's hanging in the tub. It's not in the tub, but it's hanging kind of above it. I spray that with bleach 4 or 5 times a day. And the walls. They can't get a drink of clean water. The only place to get clean water is Davy's water bowl. That's the only place to get clean water. And they was willing to risk the pain, and I said the pain, that these devices do to their neurological system. They was willing to risk it just to get to lap up some of that water. That's how desperate they are for water. It's only 2 sources of water. I like to freeze. I don't see it. I always freeze my Haterade Zero, and the condensation that sweats off the bottle, or Davy's water bowl. That's the only source of water for them in this whole house. And they were that desperate that they came out in the open because she had spilled some of her water. I don't know why she put her face in it. Silly. That's why I say double get in her mind. She put her face in the bowl and then shook. And that's how the water got on the floor. And I didn't notice it because I'm doing the show. But that's how the water got on the floor. And they noticed it. Some water. Come on out. And they was willing to risk it just to get some water. Dang, the first one I saw today, I saw one in the bathroom. It actually was trying to get, it was on the top of her litter box trying to get inside. I guess to get the litter on it, to hope we get the surrender off of him. That surrender was tearing him up. I went on and killed him, put it out of his misery, and flushed him down the toilet. That surrender was tearing him up, or her. It was tearing him up. I'm talking about the wing was open and the stomach was all white. They looked like they were just being ate from the inside out. And they were trying to get into the litter box. And the second one is one I found in the litter box. He was in there swimming in it, hoping that litter would counteract some of the surrender. Yeah, I don't know what that was. We haven't had that happen since I've been here. But I find it strange that the minute that I killed that roach, all of a sudden the show went up. I don't know if y'all think about the WitcherCon, but I see. But y'all know I can't stand the insect. I can't stand them. And like I said, the battle was on. I haven't shown y'all this picture, but I showed it to somebody else. So hold on a sec. Save image. Save. Save image. Save image. Well, you might as well. Save image. Save. And one more. Oh. Let me drop myself for a second. Let's go to picks. Go to browse. I want y'all to see what I'm talking about when I say that I ain't no joke. Do what you gotta do. I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. I don't know why all of a sudden it's a problem. This been fine for days. Why is it a problem now? Why is it a problem now? So let's change this. Let's change this to